Well, let's just say the Trump family royal visit has not gone as planned, because when you have so many scandals that are rocking your administration, the stench of the scandal lands in the plane right behind Air Force One. And Melania, accompanying the president, was wearing a dress in the color of the international symbol for I am a hostage, yellow. I got a number of clips to show you. I'm going to tie it all together. We're going to see what Led by Donkeys did in projecting on the side of Windsor Castle, effectively a documentary showing the close personal relationship between Donald Trump and that pedophile, Jeffrey Epstein, the thing that Donald Trump wants to run away from. We have that for you. We've got the welcome by the king and queen and Melania wearing the help me, I'm a hostage dress. And then, of course, we've got the protest in the streets of London. That's the kind of welcome I look forward to. And because we look to the United Kingdom, we look to Canada, we look to the European Union to hold the torch of freedom, to hold the mantle of democracy, because America's on hiatus right now with Donald Trump in charge. So hold on to the flame, hold on to the torch. We'll join you in progress in 2028. But this is the sign of a successful rebellion and resistance. And who would have thought 250 years later, the British are rebelling against the Americans? I pull it all together here for you on Legal AF on this Wednesday, our 1-year anniversary date for Legal AF YouTube. A year ago today, we had 1 subscriber. I think it was Brett Mycelis. And today, over 808,000 subscribers because of you, 265 million views. And it's just so heartwarming. Let's turn to what just happened to Donald Trump as we expected. Now, the reason he left America at this particular moment and agreed to it, I presume, was to get away from the scandals around his mishandling of the Charlie Kirk murder and investigation, that of Kash Patel, the Epstein scandal, the Federal Reserve independence attack scandal, the tariff scandal. How much time do we have? We could just scroll it on the bottom like it's Saturday Night Live skit of all the scandals. And if he thought he was going to get away from Epstein, UK was not the place to go. First of all, there's connective tissue between the UK and Jeffrey Epstein, at least through the ambassador, who's now been sacked by Starmer, the prime minister, Lord Mandelson, who was if Donald Trump wasn't his best friend, his BFF, Lord Mandelson was, and was defending him in emails about his pedophilia and the accusations of his pedophilia and his sex crimes. And that led to him getting sacked. And now the Starmer government is a little bit embroiled in its own scandal involving Jeffrey Epstein. What did they know? When did they know it? What did the ambassador know? When did he know it? What was told to the government during the vetting process? What wasn't? This is a great time tomorrow for Donald Trump to be standing at 10 Downing Street with the prime minister. Nobody will remember Epstein. And if anybody thought that anybody was going to let Donald Trump try to change the subject and change the weather in the room and stop talking about Epstein, Led by Donkeys, a resistance organization, took care of that. Let me show you now the clip that was projected on the walls of Windsor Castle as Donald Trump was arriving. A mini documentary showing Donald Trump's close ties to Epstein and perhaps his willful disregard for information in front of him that Epstein was running a child sex trafficking ring. Let's roll the Led by Donkeys clip.
This is Windsor Castle, home of the British royal family, where Donald Trump is staying during his state visit. And this is a film about Trump's relationship with the world's most famous pedophile, Jeffrey Epstein. Their friendship goes back to at least 1992, when the two of them are filmed laughing together. Trump can be seen making friendly conversation with Epstein in between clips of Trump smiling and dancing with a group of young women at his Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida. The following year, they attend a cafe opening together. And a month after that, Trump invites Epstein to his wedding. In 1995, a young woman called Maria Farmer is working for Epstein in Manhattan. Late one night, she says, Epstein unexpectedly calls her to his offices, and she arrives in running shorts. Donald Trump then turns up wearing a business suit and starts to hover over her. Ms. Farmer feels scared as Trump stares at her bare legs. Then Epstein enters the room, and she recalls him saying to Trump, No, she's not here for you. The two men then leave the room, and Miss Farmer says she heard Trump commenting that he thought Miss Farmer was 16 years old. She says she later reported the incident to the authorities. Trump denies he was ever in Epstein's office. 1993 to 1997, Trump takes at least 8 flights on Epstein's private jet, according to flight logs released by the U.S. Department of Justice. The plane is later dubbed the Lolita Express, a reference to the character in the Nabokov novel by the same name, a 12-year-old child who is sexually abused by an older man. 1997. Trump and Epstein are seen together at 2 Victoria's Secret parties and are photographed together at Mar-a-Lago. The same year, Trump gifts a book to Epstein with the dedication, "To Jeff, you are the greatest. Donald." 2000. A 16-year-old girl, Virginia Giuffre, is working in the spa at Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort. There, she is recruited by Epstein's accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, to work as a personal masseuse for Epstein. The teenager will soon become, in her words, a teen sex slave and will endure years of sexual abuse.
I was recruited at a very young age from Mar-a-Lago and entrapped in a world that I didn't understand.
25 years later, Trump will acknowledge he was aware that young women were being recruited from Mar-a-Lago by Epstein.
Were some of them young women? Well, I don't want to say, but everyone knows the people that were taken. And it was the concept of taking people that work for me is bad. But that story's been pretty well out there. And the answer is yes, they were.
Trump is then asked if one of them was Virginia Giuffre.
Now, the people that are behind led by donkeys have been arrested by the British authorities. That's how I know it's right. That's how I know what they did is right. And we here on Legal AF and on the Midas Touch Network stand with lead by donkeys or led by donkeys. And any of them, when you get out of jail, if you want to come on this platform, we're happy to put you on, platform your opinions and your views. Let's have a discussion. What you did was right. Why you're in jail, or as one of the local reporters there said, isn't this Orwellian? I mean, not to use a trite phrase, but we're putting people in jail for freedom of expression about what? The close ties between Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein? They're there for all to see. Now, that's going on at Windsor Castle upon Donald Trump's arrival. And then we have the protests going on in London. Now, I don't know what Donald Trump thought when he started doing his world tour. And because if he goes anywhere other than his own golf courses, which have their own problem, by the way. I just read that the Scottish Turnberry Trump golf course has been dumping raw sewage into the local water supply and is being fined related to it. We think he's been dumping sewage on Americans for a long, long time. And we tried to put him in jail for it, but it didn't work. So back to the protests. Let's watch a clip of the protests in the streets of London, and they were all over the UK. But here's a powerful clip. Let's run the clip.
Donald Trump, you can't hide. Donald Trump, you can't hide.
Unless he's going to go golf course to golf course, he is going to be met with this type of resistance for the remainder of his career. It's not just in America. Wait, if he thinks if Donald Trump doesn't like that, wait till he sees the 5501 and the No Kings protest in October, because it's going to be hundreds of thousands of people in every city, major city across America, especially the blue cities. It'll be millions of people when we total up that tally, protesting against the Trump administration. Our voices need to be heard. There's several ways for us to bring Donald Trump to his knees. One is the lever of power that's related to the court system, and we're doing that. Even though the Supreme Court is ruling in his favor on emergency applications 84% of the time, he's losing 90% of the time at the lower court level. So we're kind of fighting it to a draw. We've got to do that. We've got to do voting to get the right people into elected office, and especially at the midterms, return the House to the Democrats. I mean, it's an impeachable offense a day for Donald Trump, but we need the right people in office in order to bring him to his knees. And then we've got the public and what we can do to express our voice every day. Part of it is coming here and getting information, but the rest of it is going into the streets and peacefully protesting. And that's what we're watching have happen. I'm so pleased that people have chosen Legal AF as a place where they can rely on for credible information, for the commentary and opinions that they're looking for without blowing smoke or sunshine. We're honest with you. We're faithful to you. And there's another community here besides Legal AF, the YouTube channel. You can go over to Legal AF, the Substack. So until my next report, I'm Michael Popok. I'm Michael Popok, and I got some big news for our audience. Most of you know me as the co-founder of Midas Touch's Legal AF and the Legal AF YouTube channel, or as a 35-year national trial lawyer. Now, building on what we started together on Legal AF, I've launched a new law firm, the Popok Firm, dedicated to obtaining justice through compassionate and zealous legal representation. At the Popok Firm, we are focused on obtaining justice for those who have been injured or damaged by a life-altering event by securing the highest dollar recoveries. I've been tirelessly fighting for justice for the last 35 years, so my own law firm organically building on my Legal AF work just feels right. And I've handpicked a team of top-tier trial fighters and settlement experts throughout all 50 states known as big auto injury attorneys who have the know-how to beat heartless insurance companies, corporations, government entities, and their attorneys. Big Auto's attorneys working with my firm are rock stars in their respective states and collectively responsible for billions of dollars in recoveries. So if you or a loved one have been on the wrong side of a catastrophic auto, motor vehicle, rideshare, or truck accident, suffered a personal injury, or been the victim of medical malpractice, employment harassment or discrimination, or suffered a violation of your civil and constitutional rights, then contact the Popok Firm today at 1-877-POPOK-AF or by visiting my website at www.thepopokfirm.com and fill out a free case evaluation form. And if we determine that you have a case and you sign with us, we don't get paid unless you do. The Popok Firm, fighting for your justice every step of the way.